Has this ever happened to you? You're playing heavy with 9 kills, just 1 away from an unstoppable kill streak. Your medic is fully charged, and the enemy team is all grouped together. You jump right around a corner, quaking with excitement as the barrel of your minigun slowly lowers. It spins up, ready to annihilate anyone standing in its way, and then you fucking die. Do you want a pill that's hard to swallow? Heavy isn't the best class to Uber. I can hear all the heavy mains screaming at me from their monitors, but it's true. Compared to other classes, mainly soldier and demo men, trying to recreate Meet the Medic with your fellow doctor sometimes just isn't the play. That's not to say Ubering the heavy is a bad choice. In fact, it's quite the opposite. Ubering any class is pretty effective. Even if the Uber itself doesn't get any kills, the space it creates and disruption it causes can be enough to push the enemies back, and let the rest of your team clean up. However, the relationship between a heavy and a medic is unique, in that his effectiveness essentially triples when you have a competent medic behind your back. Of course, any class becomes more powerful when they have a pocket, but I find that a heavy medic combo is a very dangerous duo and is a force to be reckoned with. But why is that? Why are heavy medic combos so strong in the right hands? The answer is simple. Because heavy's countered by everything, even himself. Obviously, there are exceptions to this, but if you catch an out of position and inexperienced heavy by himself, he can be a pretty easy kill. Which makes sense, of course. He's pretty much the greatest damage sponge in the game, thanks to his massive hitbox and slow movement speed, even while unrevved. Spies can backstab him, snipers can headshot him, and really any class with more than 2 brain cells can kill an unsuspecting heavy. However, a heavy with a competent medic, attached to him at all times, can become an unstoppable force that can pub stomp any server he chooses. And honestly, I think I'm just going to let the clips speak for themselves, because do you really need any more proof that this is the best strategy in TF2? Now, I could just end the video here and say,
Doctor, you should heal heavy more!
And be done with it, but I ain't gonna do that. Instead, I'm gonna be giving you a 3-part guide on how you can improve your relationship with your fellow medics, or is what I like to call proper mediquette. Get it? Because it's like proper etiquette, except it's a mediquette. Yeah, anyway.
3, 2, and 1.
First, we gotta talk about the basics. Learning tips on what to do when you have a medic pocket with you isn't really all that useful when you can't even get one in the first place. So, let's start with that. And there's no better place to begin than with your loadout. Hey, I did say we're starting from the beginning. Choosing your loadout as a heavy is a pretty simple task. Any of the miniguns are pretty good, although I do strongly suggest choosing either of these two. However, when it comes to secondary slots, this is where the difficult decisions happen. The sandwich. Okay, look, technically, the second banana and Locust bar are food items and can be thrown to medics in a pinch. They can also be used in their own way, catering to a more flank-heavy playstyle with their quick recharge times, but when thrown, they only provide the equivalent of a small health kit, compared to the sandwich, which is the equivalent of a medium health kit. And besides being an important utility for your pocket, it can also just be an incredibly useful tool if you find yourself low without a medic. And of course, there's the added bonus of instantly recharging whenever you walk over any health pack, even a small one. When choosing your melee weapon, it mostly comes down to the KGB, the GRU, and the Fists of Steel. My personal preference is the GRU, as the added movement is super valuable to heavy, and the health drain isn't too much of an issue if you remember to holster it in time. But you can honestly use whatever you feel comfortable with. The killing gloves of boxing are viable, as if you manage to score a melee kill on an enemy, quickly telling your medic to pop Uber while you still have those 5 seconds of crits can be pretty strong. However, I find that I don't really use the KGB very often and default to the GRU and the Fists of Steel. If there's some snipers that are really giving you a run for your money, the Fists of Steel can be very helpful in crossing dangerous sightlines. So, if you have trouble deciding, it's best to just make a decision on the state of the game and the enemy composition. Alright, we got our loadout. Now, we need to figure out how to get a pocket medic. The answer? Buy an unusual. And paint it pink. Or lime. Okay, look, there's more to it than that. There's this idea that players with crazy cosmetics and loadouts get pocketed more than a casual free-to-play. This might be true to some extent, but I find that competent medics will just pocket players that are actually putting up numbers on the scoreboard. So, The best way to attract medics? Just show that you can actually get kills and be helpful towards your team. But most importantly, show that you can actually protect your medic from players that focus him down. Medics are the most important class in TF2, and players love to tunnel focus. Tunnel focus? What the f? And players love the tunnel vision directly on him, doing anything they can to kill the medic. But if you can stop the occasional bombing soldier and flanking scout, it proves that you're capable of protecting your medic, and that in turn will influence him to stay closer to you and pocket you more often. And if your medic does get low, you can throw the sandwich to him, adding to your survivability. The healthier the medic is, the more likely you are to survive as well. There is one final point that I'll leave you with, and it's this. Medics won't and shouldn't ever be pocketing one person. They are called medics for a reason. They have a whole team which is constantly screaming out for health. Playing as a medic can be an incredibly stressful job, and they can't always just be healing you. They have much more important things to be worrying about. You have to remember that a medic is a real player and not just some random upgrade that you can use every once in a while. Yes, a heavy being pocketed by a medic will allow you to be more aggressive and apply more pressure to the enemy, but that doesn't mean you just immediately go all in on every push. Most of the time, a medic is going to back out if he thinks that he's going to die in an engagement, so don't expect them to just follow you around like a puppy on a leash. Always remember that it's better if you die and the medic lives, than for both of you to die and get like one extra kill. Hey, first part done. This video is mainly talking about the basics of heavy medic gameplay, so if there were some advanced tips that I didn't really talk about, they'll probably cut for the sake of the topic. This is going to be a 3-part series, so make sure to stay tuned for the other ones. Sorry that I didn't sound too good. I was kind of sick when I was recording them, but yeah. Anyway, see ya.